What's going on? Thank you for tuning back into another episode. We are picking up here on episode 4. At the start, we are at the Combine podium, and this is when you get to choose what team you want to go to or let fate decide. Now, I know EA said that they were going to fix whatever glitch there was that automatically made you get drafted to the Bears, but I had to go with the Indianapolis Colts, man. It's my favorite team. That's always been a team that I like. So, you know, I saw everyone on YouTube going to the Bears, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm switching it up, picking a different route. So now we're here at the NFL Combine. I'll fast forward, a little bit here, cut a little bit of the conversation pieces out. So now we're starting here with the 40-yard dash. And I think depending on what your build is, you have a set like time that you get, no matter how well you do, in these runs and hitting the buttons on time. I think your time is your time unless you just like completely miss all the buttons. Um, so I don't really know why they put this feature in the game if it's really not changing, your time depending on how fast you actually hit the buttons. I think that should be the case. If you do hit the buttons in a timely manner, you should be able to improve, your speed and your time. But whatever. Draft stock is trending up, so that's good. And then here we're gonna pick up in the throwing drills. And with this, you have to time it so that you get it, within the circle, 2 feet down. This is actually a lot harder than I thought it would be as far as like timing, when to release the ball, whether you release it right at the beginning of the window or towards the end, because you don't have no control over, the guy catching it. So depending on where you release it, that depends on, where the guy finishes at. And a lot of the times the guy, you can time it right to where you get your feet in, and then sometimes it's like right there. I was just right outside. He only got 1 foot inside the zone, so I didn't get that throw. Um, so I'm still, trying to get used to the timing. That one right there, threw it too late. Um, so what they did with the throws is they got progressively different. Even though it was the same throw, the window got progressively smaller every throw or every advancing throw. Window got a little smaller and a little smaller, so timing had to be different. Like that one I threw way too early. I thought I was gonna get more air on that, so that's why I threw it as soon as I did. You know, that one I got perfect time, right at the end of the window. And now we here draft night. Um, I wasn't sure how the draft was gonna go, where your player was gonna get drafted, but I assume everyone gets drafted, first round, and I guess that's the storyline that they went with for this. Is everyone gets drafted first round, and your dreams come true, and you get to hold up the number 1 jersey. But I don't know if they would, for like next gen, put in like later round picks, because I know in other Maddens they've had the option like you could be early round pick or late or undrafted or something like that. But I don't know if for the face of the franchise that would be the case. But I think that would be cool. You go in the third or fourth round and have like a Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott kind of story. Um, so now we picking up here and we're just taking a look at the stats of my guy. 79 overall, 97 throw cannon, 86 deep, 77 mid, 75 short. Um, you know, seeing what abilities I have, and I like throwing from the pocket. So all of these different abilities I'm looking at, I'm like, they all sound very enticing, but if I know myself, I'm gonna go with Omaha just because being able to see what the defense is in, especially on like all Madden difficulty, is too important. I feel like you just can't beat it. Um, and then I went with conductor. Um, so now we here interviewing Reggie Brown, and this right here, they put a lot of user options in the game so that you get to choose what your player is, and I think that's really good. You get to choose different outcomes for your player based on your choices that you make. See, so I got the team leader, and it's just telling you different personalities. And each choice affects a different portion of your personality. Um, so right here, picking up first practice, they got us, got to get the first down. Um, in order to get, you know, gold, you got to get all five, I think. And that's the goal, man. Try to get all five. So, you see here, we're starting out with the dots. Got the first two. I'm like, okay, this is not bad. Got the little angle route to the fullback here. Bang. That's the third one. And I'm like, all right, we got it. This one was terrible route combinations altogether. I try going late to TY. He drops it. So we don't get gold, but I'm like, all right, at least we can finish out strong. See what we can get here. Bang, tight end over the middle. So I got plus 10 medium for 3 games. And I got 2000 XP. I didn't get gold, which sucks. And then here's another, menu screen that you get to choose what your player becomes in a sense, right? You get to choose, out of the options that they give you, what your personality is going to be. And as you can see, my leader is really high and intense. And that's just those are the different types of things that I went with. But I went with study your playbook, get the team player chemistry up a little bit, and also these choices that you make, which is a new feature that they put in. I guess you not only affect you and your storyline, but you also affect teammates, your opponents. So all of that stuff gets taken into consideration, which I think is a pretty cool feature this year. So, making good impression, get plus 10 awareness, and here just speeding through the customization. For some reason, they don't save any of your stuff, which I think EA said that they addressed that recently as far as your settings and stuff not saving. Um, but me, just going back to the customization, making sure everything is the way I want it. I didn't really change any of the facial anything. Um, I pretty much stuck with what I came with, out of the trial, and then for the equipment, this has always been my like favorite part. Just customizing your guy to like top peak, specs of what you want. Um, I've always liked that EA has always, well, not always, but they've added this customization level back into the game because they've definitely taken it out sometimes. So going back in with the customization, just seeing, what I want my player to look like. The only thing is that they have like with the face of the franchise, it's not so much you play a lot of games. It's like moments. So, you can mess around and you only play like a few games per season or something like that based on, what your storyline is. So I don't know if in future Maddens that'll be different, having you able to play more games out of each season, or if they're going to just stick with the key moments feature. I know you can choose to do like a regular franchise, which would not be face of the franchise. It would be like whatever standard franchise was from last year with your custom player. and you could just play through all the games like that. But I do like the franchise, the face of the franchise like this, with you being able to, like kind of relive your career. But I do think that would be not a really big thing to add in. If they were like, all right, you can play, X amount of games more than half of the season or something like that. At least like 8 games, right? You play like prime time games or something like that that are on the schedule. Some way that, you play a lot more than, 3 to 4 games per season during, going over your career. So right now, just finishing up here with the bottom half of my player. I think I don't know. I always like the white gloves. For some reason, for like the past like 4 or 5 years, there's always something about the white gloves that I've always liked on my players. Um, and then got the Nike cleats. Always got to go Nike. And now we're just finishing up with how I want my throw to look. And I think that's about it. Traditional four. I was thinking about it. Felt like that's the one that looks more natural than anything. So that's what we went with. Um, so yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Um, we're gonna close out here, and then in the next episode, we're gonna be picking up on the first games of the season. So thank you for tuning in. Drop a like and a comment. I'll see you soon.